Today, many folks are funneling their money to Black-owned businesses or not spending it at all for Blackout Day 2020. The movement was launched by hip-hop artist and spiritual leader Calvin Martyr from Texas. He says today is about the economic empowerment and solidarity of Black people across the country and the world. People here in the Valley have participated in the movement by buying from both Black and Brown-owned businesses.
And at the end of the day, this is really what good capitalism is about. It's really about the sharing, the exchange of goods and services, and making sure that our brothers and our sisters in the world of business are still our brothers and keepers.
Another nationwide blackout protest took place last month.